Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Amy Carr Hilton and I know firsthand the hardships of figuring out how to recover from chronic pain and other chronic symptoms on our own. So I'm inviting you here to explore our pain mastery together because it is you who has the greatest power to influence your own pain healing. And I really want to share this experience with you. So I just want to let you know that taking the 4 elements of care into real life and into your healing is going to feel hard sometimes. Otherwise, you'd already be doing it, right? So here are some of the things that my clients have found challenging with using the 4 elements of care in their healing, and here's how we remedied that. So compassion can be a challenge to express for ourselves when we feel guilt or shame around our limited capacity for looking after our family, the house, finances, our fitness. We can be so hard on ourselves. This is kind of a hallmark of a personality who tends to fall into the neuroplastic pain trap. And we care so very much about how others see us and feel about us. We want to do everything just right. And if we believe we've failed, we take that very seriously. So start to notice where you jump to say yes to others through a feeling of guilt or worry about not being valued if you say no. A really great practice is to respond to others who are asking for your time and attention with, "Let me consider if I have the time and energy to do that, and I will get back to you." Just saying maybe isn't enough. You need to show your protective brain that you are choosing yourself out of self-compassion. You're not just saying maybe out of fear of taking on too much or fear of appearing not to care about the other person. So applying our efforts to our recovery and making it a priority can be tricky when our context for feeling pain all of a sudden gets bigger. So taking action and doing the things that matter most in our recovery can get challenging when the demands of others or an unforeseen event in your life feels like a higher priority. And when you notice you're falling off the care bandwagon, ask yourself, what is one thing you can do for yourself right now to show your protective brain that whatever your experience with symptoms or life is right now, you are committed to continuing to act with care for yourself. It's a good idea to have a simple, easy to implement action to apply to these situations. So when something happens to increase your pain context, what is one thing you can do quickly to come back to yourself while you take care of other needs as well? So maybe this is taking 3 deep breaths, intentional breaths, feeling the breath. Maybe it's petting your cat. Maybe it's going for a walk. The issue you need to attend to will still be there in 10 minutes, and you'll be able to show up for it much better if you minimize your context first by acting with care for yourself. Reassurance of our safety becomes difficult when we believe at our core that we are not worthy of being safe, or that safety is not the environment we're accustomed to. It's not what the brain sees as familiar. So maybe this was something learned in our childhood. Maybe it's something we've become used to as an adult with chronic pain. To practice reassurance when it feels extra hard to trust just telling ourselves we're safe, we can use laughter. So find a comedy to watch on TV or call a friend who makes you laugh. Laughter is a bottom-up approach. It's using an experience in our body to show our protective brain that we are safe. When we laugh, the brain believes there is no harm because laughter, true belly-busting laughter, only happens when there's no threat, when we have no worries. So bottom-up approaches are often some of the easiest ways to kind of like quickly switch the brain into feeling our safety. And then hopefully our conscious awareness, our cognitive thinking, our intellectualizing and rationalizing can catch up. Now, exposure is maybe one of the trickiest parts of recovery for a lot of people. I get asked all the time why it is that recovery can be going so well, but then if they try to do any more than the limited of pain management style, the avoidance of triggers they've been doing, then everything they've worked for seems to go out the window. Now, here's the thing, it doesn't actually go out the window. It's just a moment of the brain not quite being ready to adapt to the load that you're placing on it. So we do need to expose ourselves to triggers. Triggers like the pressure of the straps of our bra or a backpack that aggravates a headache or neck tension, or a certain position causing hip pain, or an activity or certain foods causing a flare-up of symptoms. Now, the trouble with us humans is we're impatient. And when we start to feel better, we actually don't want to take things slow. So if you're not sure where to start with, always go back to visualization. If you find yourself in a flare-up, go back to visualization. You're not taking a step backward. All of the work that you've done up to that point is still there. A flare-up is just one of those slips, but you will surge again. There will be an upside. And you're going to have to go through a few of those until you just get to a point where you can tell yourself in the moment, this too shall pass. So you're guaranteed in a visualization to be able to trust your physical safety because you're not actually exposing your body to the trigger, but you are still giving your brain a chance to feel safe with it. So this is why it's a really effective tool to use if you do find yourself in a setback, or you find yourself slipping and you fear that a surge is not going to happen again. So these are just some common tricky situations that I've seen and that my clients tend to bring up. And I get more into depth with my 12-week empowered pain mastery program, which is supported. So if you need more help, and you can find out more info about that in the next lesson.